turned it off or not, if I stopped it or played through. It's only 2 minutes. That is from the Rocky movie, the first one. The first Rocky, Rocky 1, not Rocky Balboa. Rocky Balboa was actually number 6. See, they made 6 of those movies. And I always use the Rocky music to get me motivated. And if you listen to the lyrics of that, what does it say? Gonna fly now. So y'all ready to fly? I want everybody to stand up for a minute. Y'all didn't know this was going to include some exercise today, did you? But one thing,
I can't see him.
One thing, I'm going to do this, guys, because I don't want to get it too loud. I love the enthusiasm, and we're going to get real enthusiastic. But when you see me do this, when I go 1, 2, 3, that means everybody's got to get quiet. Okay? This is an exercise, and I want everybody to understand why we're doing this. And everything part of this exercise, there's a reason for it. And all you have to do is follow me. You guys listen, you ready? All you have to do is follow me. So we're going to do, when you're up, and you're going to raise your hands high up over your head. And when you're down, and we're going to hold it there, and we're going to go when you're down, and when you're halfway up, and you're going to go about halfway up, you're going to hold it there. You're neither up nor down. And we're going to do that a couple of times, and I want you to really get into how it feels, how your body feels when you're doing that. And I'll explain why as we go through the presentation. So everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. When you're up, you're up. You guys can, after me, you can go, when you're up, you're up. That means you can be loud. This is the one time in the presentation you can get loud. Ready? 1, 2, 3. When you're up, you're up. And when you're down, you're down. But when you're halfway up, you're neither up nor down. Let's try it one more time. Ready? When you're up, you're up. And when you're down, you're down. But when you're halfway up, you're neither up nor down. All right, everybody have a seat. And we're going to see how well y'all listen. Ready? 3, 2, 1. So when you see me do that, 3, 2, 1, shush, that's your cue to get quiet. And we're going to try to help you out as much as we can. And if you brought paper and pen or pencil, you can take notes, because some of the things you're going to learn today will definitely help you succeed while you're here at Junior Achievement in Biz Town. So we want you guys to all be successful. When you were up, standing up and your hands over your head, how'd that feel? Guy all the way in the back. What's your name? All the way in the back. Straight in front of me, yeah. Marcus, how did it feel when you're all the way up? Did it feel good? Did it feel kind of strange? Did it feel weird? Felt good, right? How about when you were down over here? How did it feel when you were down? Okay, well, for her it was good. How about over here? When you were down and your knees were crunched like that, how did it feel? And over here, how did it feel? Sit your hands up. You guys going to pay attention, or am I going to separate you? Okay? It felt weird, right? How about when you were halfway up? How'd that feel? It hurt, right? That is the answer I was looking for. And each one of these represented, I know my voice is real loud, the whole neighborhood can hear me outside probably now. But when you were up, that felt great. That's where you want to be. That is the level of success. That's a joyful feeling. How many of you guys here, the guys and the girls, play football, cheerlead, or do a sport? And you know how great it is? You're running down the field, the ball's in your hand, and you scored a touchdown. Now, me, I've always been taught to act like you've been in the end zone before, so I don't do a touchdown dance. I just hand the ball to the referee. But when I was your age, I used to go nuts. I'd be like, touchdown, yay! And that was my whole thing, raise my hands over my head. Kind of like Rocky, being victorious. So that's what success feels like. Now, when you were down, somebody said it felt comfortable. And for some people, it's comfortable to be right down there because they don't believe in themselves. They've been told for so long that they're not good enough, that they don't have what it takes. Well, I'm here to tell you, each and every one of you has what it takes to be successful. Each and every one of you can be successful. Because what the mind can conceive, that means what you can think up here, it's a new word. For those that don't know the word conceive, write it down. You now have a new spelling word for the school year. Conceive, what the mind can think of. What the heart can believe, you can achieve. And that is so true. What the mind can conceive, heart can believe, you can achieve. Now, when you were halfway up, it felt rough, right? It was like that moment of indecision. If you had to stay here all day, walking around Biz World like this, Biz Town. I called it Biz World. I made it a whole world. We morphed it. It became a world. And you had to walk around Biz Town like this all day. By the end of the day, it'd be pretty painful, right? You'd be like, oh man, my legs hurt, my body hurts. That is mediocrity. That is not being successful. That's not putting your best foot forward. So we're here to get you out of that halfway up, halfway down. We want everybody to get up. Over the years, one of the things that I learned throughout my life, and I've been doing all types of public service since I was 11 years old. I did my first ever backyard carnival for an organization called Muscular Industry Association. Anybody ever heard of the Jerry Lewis Labor Day Telethon? Well, they have this big telethon, and they raise money for kids that have neuromuscular diseases. And I was 11 years old, and one of my friends wanted to go to the NBA summer camp, so we did a backyard carnival. I raised enough money, I got to go on TV. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And I got interviewed on the TV station, went around my middle school, and I was like the hero for that day. They were like, oh, John, we saw you on TV. Hey, Jonathan, we saw you on TV. But more importantly, I learned certain skills that I've carried with me through everything I've done. I've been a United States Peace Corps volunteer. I traveled to the Philippines and spent 6 months in the Philippines teaching at-risk youth reading skills, writing skills, math skills, livelihood skills. And I got a lot out of that. I've been a community volunteer with the Junior Chamber of Commerce and won many, many awards. And a lot of the work that I've had, the job that I've had before I went out on my own and started my own business, I've learned these 5 keys to success. Be on time. Why do you think it's important to be on time? Anybody have an idea why it's important to be on time? Right here. Make a good impression, right? Right, be early, not late. Don't make the employer, don't make the guests wait for you, you wait for them. Be early, not late. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't always do this. I've gotten a lot better at being on time, because I learned a very important lesson. I was working in college, and I had a job interview. And this was going to be my dream job. This is going to be the job to beat all jobs. New York City, Sport Magazine, rubbing elbows with all the top sports figures in the world. And this was back in 1987. So Michael Jordan was really popular, Magic Johnson, all these. I was going to get the interview. What happens? I'm going to school in New York. It's in December. Anybody ever experienced a winter in New York City? What happens in December? It snows. And I didn't have a car to drive around when I was there at college. I had to rely on the train. When it snows, what happens? The trains get delayed. Guess who was late to their interview? Guess who didn't get their dream job? Guess who woke up and decided the next time I get an interview for a job that I think is going to be a dream job, what's going to happen? I'm going to be early, not late. So being on time is very important. Having a positive attitude. How many times you walk through the street, you see this in your schools, you see it at the Boys and Girls Club, people walking, they're down like this way. Oh, the world hates me. Let me go eat sand. My teachers are picking on me. I don't know what to do. And people get upset like that. And then all of a sudden you have people like me who walk in, hey, how you doing? Great day today. It's great to be alive. Right? And sometimes people don't know how to react to that. But I have a positive attitude. gratitude. When I get up in the morning, you know what happens when my first foot hits the floor? Who can tell me, what word do you think I say when I hit the floor? I say thank for that one, and my next foot I go you. Right? And I go thank you, and I come from a position of gratitude. You know what I do is I look in my mirror. I always have a meeting with myself in the morning. I always have a meeting with myself. It's between me and the guy looking back at me in the mirror. And I look in the mirror and I go, I love me some JDOGG. I look good. I feel good. I'm going to do good. And you know what happens? I usually go out and have a good day. And things happen to me throughout the day. Somebody might call me a name for whatever reason. They might get mad at me and cut me off, or I may cut them off by mistake in traffic. I just smile and wait. And I always had this positive attitude. When I was your age, I was getting in a lot of trouble in school. I was crying out for attention and all the wrong reasons. And then again, had this wake-up call. Said, this isn't working. If something's not working, what do? You fix it, right? So instead of blaming everybody else on my problems and walking with my head down, I started fixing myself. And I made a commitment to myself that I'm going to have a positive attitude. And you know what I put after that? And you can write this down. I will do my job with excellence. Whatever my job is, whatever it be emceeing an event, being a PA announcer, whatever it is. And you can write it down. I will do my job with excellence. And you remind yourself, because everything you do here at Biz Town this week, it's important. For the person that might be sweeping up the floors, you might not like that job, but it's a very important job. Because people like to do business in a clean environment. So what you're doing is very important. Respect yourself and others. This one, rough time sometimes. Some people say, well, to get respect, you have to earn it. You know, you can't just walk into a group of kids and say, hi, I'm an adult and respect me. Because the way things should be and the way things are two different things. And I wasn't always respectful to people. My neighbor used to tell me stuff, and I used to mouth back at her until one day my mom, unfortunately she's not here anymore, but my mom punished me. And then I decided, you know what? Instead of talking back at everything, I'm going to listen. Because she has something, my neighbor has something to say about good behavior. And you know what? When you act the right way, good things happen. When you show people respect, good things happen. Like I said, I have that meeting in the morning. Telling myself, I love myself. I take care of myself. Today, I came in, I usually drink water. I was relegated to having a Sprite, so I'll have to go on the treadmill for about 30 more minutes today to work the Sprite off. Because I take care of myself. Because you know what I believe in? If you look good and you feel good, you can do good. So if you look good and you feel good, you can do good. Working hard. How many people, when you hear it takes hard work, you kind of freak out? Oh, it's too hard. I can't do that. You're asking me to do something I'm not capable of. You're capable of everything. I was a competitive swimmer in high school. My freshman year, I was the slowest swimmer in the world. I think Nemo would beat me. Okay? And I picked one of the toughest events to compete in at the time, the 500-yard freestyle.
What?
My first meet, it took me, I think, just under 9 minutes to finish 500 yards. When the crowd started to clap, I didn't know if they were clapping so we could move on to the next event, or they were clapping because I finished what I started. My sophomore year, I got a little bit better. My junior year, I started placing in the top 3 in meets. My senior year, my time for the 500-yard freestyle was in the top 20 in America. I was invited to the Olympic trials. Unfortunately, I didn't have the funding to get to the Olympic trials, so I never got there. But being invited was kind of neat. But it took hard work. You know what I did every day for 4 years in high school? I got up in the morning at 6 o'clock. I was in the pool by 6:30. I went to school and I maintained a 3.6 grade point average. After school, I was working a job. After work, doing my homework, back into the pool, in between swim practice. I was swimming between 8,000 and 10,000 yards a day. Hard work, it pays off. Nobody's going to walk up to you and give you $1 million. If they do, thank them and invest it the best you can and continue to work hard. But everybody here can make $1 million. You know why? Because you're learning the skills right here at Biz Town to manage your money. Learn how to run a business. Learn how to invest in yourself. And you're willing to put in the work. There's an old TV show which was turned into a movie called Fame. And Debbie Allen, if you want to ever see a very inspirational woman, her name is Debbie Allen. She's a dancer. And in the beginning of the show, she said, fame costs. And right here is where you start paying. And he was telling people in the dance studio, in that school, that's where you pay. That's where you invest in yourself. Nothing's going to come easy. I can tell you about my 4th grade experience when he told me I was learning disabled. I had a 6th grade teacher tell me, Jonathan, you'll be lucky to amount to anything. And you know what? I got to meet that 6th grade teacher a few years ago when I was substitute teaching. And I walked up to her and I looked her in the eye and said, I don't know if you remember me, but my name is Jonathan Letterman. And I'm a substitute teacher at your school today. How are you liking me now? Because I didn't let her negativity bring me down. I said, I can do anything I put my mind to. And look, here I am speaking. I've done the lingerie bowl football games. I've done women's tackle football. I've announced for the Lauderhill Broncos. I've been honored by former Governor Jeb Bush with the Governor's Point Light Award. I've served in the U.S. Peace Corps. Not bad for a kid they said in the 4th grade who was learning disabled, right? I'm driving a fairly new car, the little Chevy Cobalt out there, 4 more payments, and I own it. But it takes hard work. I was able to walk into the dealership and say, okay, I got $2,000 to put down on that car. I can make the payments. Working hard. It takes a lot of hard work to be successful. Wake up over here. You're supposed to be listening and getting excited and not sleeping. I'm not that boring, am I? Come on. We're almost done. Studying. That's a bad word amongst kids. Y'all don't like that word, do you?
No.
Someone says, you gotta study. And you're like, I don't have to do anything. Well, let me tell you, studying is not a bad thing. Studying is a good thing. And one of the things I want you guys to think about, the more you learn, the more you earn. The more you learn, the more you earn. And a lot of it is studying things that you like. Like I like a lot of people that do what I do, inspirational speakers. So what I do is I watch videotapes of inspirational speakers. And I learn. And you know what? Because I'm learning, I can now go, and I'm not doing free speech like I'm doing here for you today, I can go to somebody putting on a conference and say, hi, I'm Jonathan JDOGG Letterman. I'm an inspirational speaker. And if you want me to do a presentation for 45 minutes, it will cost you $500. Now, that's not bad pay for 45 minutes, but it's not really 45 minutes worth of work because I do preparation and I need to know my audience and a lot that goes into it. But that's not bad, is it? But I have to study. I have to know my audience. Like come today, I didn't just wake up this morning and go, oh, I'm going to junior achievement and I'm just going to talk. And I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I knew what I was going to talk about. I had to be prepared. Right? Had to study. I practiced at home. Did everything I needed to do. So studying is very important. And this is now the audience participation. I'm going to ask somebody, what is one thing that you really like to do? Right over here. What? She likes to sleep. Well, sleeping doesn't do us any good. You sleep during the day, and during the night, you work hard during the day. For some people, they sleep during the day and work at night, depending on what shifts they're on. Play baseball, right? And what do you want to do with baseball? Well, if you continue to play baseball really well, and you work hard, and you study everybody else, and you learn the game, you could qualify for a college scholarship, right? So that's a good thing. So that's where they're working hard. You don't just go on the field without stretching out, without practicing, right? You don't just show up with a glove and ball and go, hi, It takes practice, right? You like to eat? Okay, well,
I like that.
that's a good. I like to eat too. As you notice, I don't miss many meals. And you know what? There are people out there that they actually have a contest, competitive eating contest, and people make money at this. But believe it or not, a guy like Joey Chestnut, he's got to practice. He's got to train. What happens if Joey Chestnut shows up and he was late to sign in for the contest? He doesn't get to compete. What happens if he doesn't think he can win? What happens if he doesn't respect his other competitors? What happens if he doesn't work hard? He doesn't get paid. Cheerleading. And again, there too, if you're really good at cheerleading, which you're probably very good at it, and you work hard at it, colleges give scholarships for cheerleading. A fireman, all right, good deal. And that's a very noble profession to have. But what is it going to take? Hard work, studying. Think about it. What's one of the most important things on that list for a fireman? Work hard, that's good, but what's another one? I was thinking a little bit differently. Well, but in order to save somebody's life, you have to work hard to be on time. You have to be aware, you have to be on time. If you're late to the firehouse and you miss the truck, you don't get to go fight the fire and save a life. So being on time is very important, right? Lawyer, another good profession. And that takes a lot of hard work, a lot of reading, but you can do it. You know why? Because you've already said, I'm going to do it. So I'm going to give you guys one thing. We're going to take one more. I'm going to give you one thing you can do when you get home. Pediatrician, all right. That's an excellent profession too. Okay, when you get home, I want you to write your name on the top of the paper. Like for me, it would be Jonathan JDOGG Letterman. And I want you to put on one side $5 signs, and on the other side $5 signs. What you did there is two things. You put yourself in a dollar bill sandwich. You put yourself in a dollar bill sandwich. The second thing you did is you reminded yourself you're the most important person there is. Because you are important. You're special. You have a lot to offer the world. Then I want you, like we just did here, instead of I want to be, we want to change the thought from I want to I will. Yes, you beat me to it. Somebody must have seen me before. I will be. I'm going to be. I will be. Y'all remember Star Wars and Yoda? And Yoda says, young Jedi, Master Luke, there is no try. There's either do or don't. So we want to change how we say things, how we write things. So on that piece of paper, I will. And I want you to write down like what your goal is for Biz Town, what your goal is maybe for 30 days from now, and then what your dream is. And that dream will change. Mine changed a lot. When I was in college, I went from being a pre-med student to an accounting major to a marketing major, and now I do what I love to do, and that's announce and speak and use my voice and do voiceover work and make a difference. Now with that, the last thing I want you guys to remember, it's a poem that's propelled me for many, many years. It's by Langston Hughes. It says, hold fast your dreams, for if you let them die, they're broken winged birds that cannot fly. Hold fast your dreams, for if you let them die, they're broken winged birds that cannot fly. And that's the thing, don't let go of the dreams. It's okay to have dreams. Be a dreamer, and then take action to make those dreams come true. Now I'll leave you with this. I told you about my public address announcing for the Lauderhill Broncos. And you know how it came about? I was driving by a park. Something told me to make that left-hand turn into the park. I walked up to the press box. I said, you have anybody announcing? They said, no. I said, well, I'm a professional announcer. Would you like me to announce? They said, well, I can't approve you to do that, but downstairs is the vice president of our league. I went and saw the vice president of the league. Vice president of the league said yes, and guess who was announcing the rest of the afternoon? So again, we take what we love to do, we take our passion, we take some action, we follow the 5 keys up there, and what do we find? Not an answer. What What's the talk been about today? Success, right. So that's another thing you can remember. Passion plus action equals success. And if anybody has any question, I'll take them at this time. So I know you have the Hoop Olympics coming up. Again, I want to thank Mr. Nowak and the entire staff here for your achievement. Okay, why do I call myself JDOGG? Well, when I was in the Philippines, this is a fun story. When I was in the Philippines, I was a United States Peace Corps volunteer. My Filipino counterparts and myself and some of my American Peace Corps volunteer friends, we all went out to sing karaoke one night. Now, my first name is Jonathan. So they kept saying, hey, JDOGG, why don't you go up and sing? So the whole time I was in the Philippines, JDOGG kind of stuck. I got home and I was launching my first website, jonathanletterman.org. And I wanted something catchy. So I was sitting there thinking of things, and I came up with Get Motivated with Jonathan JDOGG Letterman. So now part of it is that's my brain. So when somebody types in Jonathan JDOGG Letterman on Google, they find me. When they type in JDOGG Letterman, they find me. So it's part of my brain. Kind of like you see here, all the different businesses, that's their brand, that's their logo. And that's how it came about. Any other questions? I saw some hands up back there. My dream job, I told you in the beginning, at the time, it was going to work for Sport Magazine, to be a writer, and to be able to interview professional athletes. And I've gotten to do that, not through Sport Magazine, so I told you I was late to the interview, so I never got that job. But I worked for a newspaper called the Happy Herald. And who here has ever heard of Shaquille O'Neal? I actually got to interview Shaquille O'Neal. It was really cool. I got to call up the publicists, I got to talk to them, and I got to send them the questions, and then they answered the questions, and I wrote a whole story that was on the front page of the Happy Herald. No, I didn't get to meet him in person. We did everything over the phone. But it was really neat to be able to say, yeah, I interviewed Shaquille O'Neal. That's kind of neat. I can't hear you. Speak up. Can you sing? Can I sing? I did make up a rap. I did have a rap, and I'll give it to you guys real quick. It was on YouTube. And I am JDOGG, spiritual emcee, believing in the power of three: the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, the one that I love the most. The Bible, old and new, a quiet bench is my view. Praise be to God. Feel the hooks, feel the hooks.com. And that's my little rap song. It's appropriate for. I have some other stuff. Like I said, we did karaoke. I'm usually the guy that closes a karaoke show. There's a song called Puff the Magic Dragon. And my friend who owns a karaoke business, he'll invite me to the show. And I think some of the time he only invites me to clear the audience when he's ready to go home. Because he'll call me up and go, and ladies and gentlemen, now we have for your listening pleasure, Jonathan JDOGG Letterman. And then I'll go up there. The reason I'm singing is because you don't have to go home, but you can stay here. And I'll usually sing Puff the Magic Dragon, and it usually clears out everybody. They settle up their tabs, and they go home. And then my friend packs up, and he has to go back to his house. What? No, JDOGG is a moniker that I use. My real middle name, given to me by my mother, is Steven. So I knew when I was in trouble, when my mom was alive, even to this day, being as old as I am now, when my mom was living, she would say, Jonathan Steven Letterman. And the minute I knew that, I knew I was in big trouble. So that's just a little bit about my life. But no, the JDOGG, like I said, it came about from being over in the Philippines and being nicknamed. If I can remember it. Puff the Magic Dragon, live by the sea. Rocked in the autumn, still they call Holly. Little Jackie Paper used to bring him, and I forget the things because I used to do it on karaoke. So my message to you guys today, going back to what we said, is you can be anything you want. If you have a dream, hold on to it. Remember what we said earlier with like and conceive. What does the word conceive mean? Let's see who's paying attention. What does the word conceive mean? Thinking, right. What you can think up here, and you can believe in here, you can achieve. So again,